Hey guys, that's part 2 of the Paris NotreDame bikeway. If you haven't watched part 1, follow the link in the description here to part 1 and see me riding from LaSalle south up to Regent and past Regent even, following this plan. Now, just a quick recap. If you didn't watch part 1, this bikeway was approved in 2020. It's 2023. They built part of it in 2017 just as token infrastructure, and in 2020 built the first part, which goes from LaSalle to Wilmot Street. It's a very short span, and it's taken them 3 years to add to it. They're adding to it right now, if you can believe. It sat there for 3 years. I don't know how. In any case, enjoy part 2, me biking back the other way from Walmart South End down past LaSalle to where they plan to end this multi-use path, as they're calling it. They're not really calling it a bikeway. Look in their master plan, they call it a multi-use path. So enjoy this ride. My GoPro kind of died and I had to refilm half of it, so bear with me if a bit overlaps. You know, I'll probably be on a different bike too. I haven't gone and filmed the second half yet. Enjoy, guys. I'll get back to you in maybe 10 years. 10 years, we'll say it'll be done. It's taken 6 so far since that first section was done. And I'll bike it again when it's done. I'll see you in 10 years. It'll take that long, I promise you, with the way this city works. Enjoy the ride. Hello again. Whew. So I'm at Countryside in Harrison, where they're beginning the other half of the multi-use path. That is the Paris NotreDame bikeway. Whew. I'm heading northbound now to LaSalle, and about 8 to 9 kilometers, give or take. If you saw the first half, I did the other side of the road, and well, let's just say this side is a little bit more complicated. So, refresher, if you didn't watch the first part, go on and have a look at it first before watching this, otherwise you're going to be lost. I'd go watch that first. Whew. Okay, that man stopped for me. I'll go around the back of this car and stop in a crosswalk. That's a pedestrian crosswalk. Now anyway, I suggest you go watch the first part. The LaSalle to down here is past Paris, or sorry, Regent. So they call it the Paris NotreDame bikeway. This is going to be a multi-use path. Got approval in 2020. They built part of it in 2017. Oh boy, this is a big drop. Alright, I'm gonna have to go on the road for this part, I think. Like I said, this part is nuts to get around on. If you thought the other half was bad. Anyway, the plan got approved in 2020. So, the last part of our trip today is the part they built in 2020. They just started, just now, 3 years later, adding to it. Alright? Let that sink in. They started building it 3 years ago. They did a 2 to 3 kilometer stretch 3 years ago. It took them until now to start adding to it. This project has been in approval for 6 years. Like, it's been approved as of 6 years ago. This part's the worst though. Totally. They're gonna have a lot of work here to finish this part, that's for sure. Anyway, the worst part of it taking them 3 years to add to that one part since its approval and since it built. Well, it's close to home, I take it all the time. But beyond that, the fact that the whole project, both ends, sat idle for 3 years so far is just asinine. Yeah, it's not like they were busy doing road work on the road. Certainly weren't busy clearing the snow off of it. In any case, it's getting some work done. We're gonna get to it. Like I said, if you haven't seen part 1, go watch it, because I'm skipping a part of the proposed infrastructure and following the current infrastructure on this side. And well, current infrastructure isn't the greatest. It's a nice ride, so don't get me wrong, good scenery. It goes through Bell Park, but it leaves you hanging once you hit the parking lot, and it shows, if you're not from town and don't know the area, it shows you no way of getting back to this main road. Geez, cars are loud. But this city would be so peaceful if it weren't for traffic. Every city, for that matter. I kind of want to live in a place where there's not so many cars. This could take a while. These major intersections, they take forever when you're driving or walking. Either way, they just take forever. It's kind of interesting about this city itself. If you look at it on a map and compare it to a major city like, say, Toronto, it's not all that different. It's a whole lot smaller, and I don't see why Toronto can build all the bike infrastructure downtown where there's no room, and we can't. Like, we have a lot more room. But what I mean is, if you look at a map of what's now the city of Greater Sudbury, thanks to the government forcing amalgamation to both Sudbury and Toronto, we have outlying suburbs, if you might call them that. We call them towns because they all smart towns. But like, you got Etobicoke, Guelph, Mississauga, and all those little outlying areas. We got the same thing, just no freeway to them, just a normal highway. We don't have nothing like 400 series. But we got Valcaire, we got Hammer, we got Cape Real, we got Garson, we got Chelmsford and Zilda, all outlying towns like that. It's amazing the similarities, but then you look at it and realize amazing the differences in how these places operate. You got a city like Toronto on them. Their last mayor was on a warpath to get rid of biking infrastructure. Their new mayor, she is saying, no, we're putting in more, never mind this. So if a Toronto-sized city, downtown, very compressed, even New York has done great things. Look at that view. Anyway, New York has done great things with biking too. Sudbury says, we don't have the room. All I see is room. All I see is room. There's plenty of it. There's no sky-rise condos. Hey, that's a cool bike. I think that's a memorial to someone killed by a bicycle, like by a car, riding on the road. If I remember right. Anyway, this road, another one, should have been a bike lane already, years ago. It's not like this is new. There's a curb drop here. It's not like this is new. This has been here for decades. I remember growing up, my mom would say, you know, hey, the bike lane is that black stuff along between the road and the sidewalk. So that's what I grew up with as a bike lane. There was no markings or nothing. Okay. Back to Toronto. And you remember how I mentioned this route, about 9-10 kilometers, give or take. I hate to tell you, actually I'd love to tell you, this route that in fact at 8, 9, 10 kilometers, depending on how you go about which direction and any detours you take, is the entire width of the city. Alright, we're on a bike path again. It was built in 2017. That's right, 2017. Remember I mentioned this path wasn't approved until 2020. This section, for whatever mind-gone reason, was built in 2017, starting nowhere and only going to the beach. They did nothing for 6 years now to expand it. 6 years it sat here empty. You call that a waste of money? I think so. That's a hell of a waste of money. 6 years it sat. They could have expanded it the summer after even, let alone the week after they stopped. It's crazy the amount of work they do, the money they waste, and the work they don't finish. This is exactly token infrastructure. It's just saving face. Oh, we paved 2 kilometers of bike lanes this summer. Okay, but where does it go? That's my question. You know, well, what good does it serve? What purpose? I don't see a signal on that bus. It serves no purpose. So, it's no wonder people don't want bike lanes. You build a 2 kilometer stretch, you don't finish it, you build a stretch like this, you don't finish it, it goes nowhere. Lots of people use it, granted, I've gone by a bunch of bikers this morning alone. But it sits there. So of course no one wants the city to build more bike lanes when they're stuck in these metal boxes. But they'll find out. Sooner or later we'll get something. Like this master plan the city has hundreds of kilometers of bike lanes. Well, maybe not hundreds, but there's a lot. And they actually go places. But they're not going to build it, guaranteed, in a timely fashion where it's actually useful. Maybe that's the plan. Keep hearing the government saying we want to be carbon neutral. What is it, 2030 or 2040? It's 2023 now. So maybe the plan isn't to finish it until 2030. Like, we don't need it till then. We can take our sweet time. Oh well. Anyway, this part of the lane's not too bad. It's a good climb. And 6 years sitting undone though is a shame. They could have finished all the way to where they want, like where Walmart is by now. Not even by now, long ago. But they let it sit. Curious what their plan for other major roads are. LaSalle being one of them, major corridor through the city, which if you look at Sudbury on a map, it's kind of like a rectangle, it's not square. So if you go down LaSalle from one end to the other, which is one of the major corridors of the city, almost the whole width of it, it's a lot shorter than this ride. Oh well, we'll figure it out. You say thousands of cars have been taken off LaSalle, but they're not shrinking the road. Okay, so I'm going to take the existing bike lane. Proposed one goes straight down this road. Part one we went through on, well, the other side of the road, obviously. But I feel like I don't need to take you through there. I want to show you what they built, and according to the map are just completely negating from their master plan, we'll call it. I'm gonna wait for this truck. Yeah, they're gonna pretty much negate this from their master plan to build a bikeway, a multi-use path passed in front of the hospital. I don't know what they're gonna do with this. But I'll tell you, it makes for a good quiet bike ride. Maybe if people want to bike into Bell Park, keep it. There's the Grace Hartman Amphitheater. Just saw Our Lady Peace there a few weeks ago. Oh, 2 weeks ago, maybe 3. What a show. What a show they put on. That was awesome. Of course, me being a big Our Lady Peace fan, I was right there at the front of the stage. Alright, so these are mostly service roads for the city. There's no traffic allowed through here. They made it into a bike lane just to get around the hospital, get through Paris Street, that part they built. No bikes allowed down here. So they built this part to get around the hospital. Which again, part one we went through, went by. Behind it now, it's right there. Another thing about that, a lot of people like to walk down there. They were, in all fairness, originally walking paths and service roads, so it's also part of the Trans-Canada Trail, this path. Anyway, there's the old hospital. That giant mural, it's an eyesore to most people. Morning. Nice man. Say good morning. So that's the thing I like about biking more than driving. Bikers, we pass by each other, we say good morning. You know, cars, we're just alone in our boxes and ignorant to the world around us mostly. Just by ourselves, you know. Hello. Another thing this path, but they didn't make it. They didn't make it two-way or anything. It's just go down it. But we look up for each other. So here, dumped onto the road. Like I said, into a parking lot. No direction where to go. No instruction where to go. Just, yeah, hey, look, bike lane's done. Get out of here, basically. I'm just gonna go through the grass around this man. Yeah, no cars. So, no direction. I can tell you how to get back to the main road. If you don't know the area, you're just gonna stand here and say, well, the hell am I? You know? You're not gonna have a clue. Which kind of sucks because it's a very, very nice trail back there through Bell Park. It could have done better. We'll just put it that way. Some signage or painted a bike lane on the side of this road. For anybody wondering, to get back to Paris Street, you just hang a left here. You hang a left, and up there, those lights is the construction I'm trying to avoid. I'm just gonna come out on the other side of it. This is part of the Trans-Canada Trail, so we'll take that part. It's CN train yard. It looks like they had a bike lane painted here at one point and just let it fade. You can see the paint on the sidewalk, or not the sidewalk, but the side of the road. So for now, we'll just follow the Great Lakes Trail. Comes across this bridge. I came across it the other day on my Ramsey Lake loop. So that bridge we passed by, in episode 1, that's it right there. It's under rehabilitation. We're gonna make our way back to the beginning of it, very awkwardly. Oh crap, there's a giant hole in this bridge. Lovely. Okay. Whoa, bug in my face. Another one of those wonderful signs where you ask cars to yield to people walking, but they just don't bother. At least this road's not too busy. They're painting a new mural downtown. Okay, so we have two options to get back to the Paris NotreDame bikeway as it stands. We could take Drinkwater. You could take Drinkwater. Okay. But look at down at the end. If you can see, it's just a set of stairs. There's no walkway for a bike. I'm not carrying a 70-pound bike with a broken back up a flight of stairs. So there's another way. It's a royal pain, if you ask me, but it's the way we gotta go because of our token infrastructure. All right. Go under that bridge, it's under construction. Down this alleyway. Whew. Dog shit in the middle of the frickin' road. This alleyway. It serves as the Samaritan Center, the superintendent. Fire hall's right here. That's right. Fire hall's in the alley. And here we are on the other side of the bridge with our token infrastructure. Ooh. Spot look familiar? Should. We're just here. Across the street. This side of the sidewalk closed. Couldn't take it if I wanted to, which is why I went around. Big button. Now let's go. So how was that for a detour instead of a direct route? When they built it in 2017, they could have built a direct route. Or even time after that, years after that. It's been 6 years. They could have built a direct route. Person was nice enough to stop for me. I just gave him a wave. We're back downtown. See some interesting things down here. This dude can't keep his pants on. Downtown again. Look at the bubble in this sidewalk. I think it's about time it gets redone. Time to turn it into a multi-use path, Sudbury. It's pushing up in the middle, bulging. Yeah, right on. Light changed. And back to having a pre-made bike lane from 30 years ago that hasn't been used as a bike lane. It's funny, like, I may not remember much, but I remember the 90s being downtown a lot as a teenager. And all these black little areas existed, but they were never ever bike lanes. It could have been over 20 years ago. Wouldn't you know it, huh? Alright, I'm just gonna wait here for these guys to clear the island. Okay, let's make some room, you know? I don't want to block anyone off. Alright, big button. Whew. Sure, some interesting stuff down here. Fortunately, the city's gone downhill. A lot of drug use, a lot of, well, a crime rate is one of the highest in Canada. For a small city of under 200,000 people, it's higher than a major area like Toronto per capita. Bigger, higher than Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto, Winnipeg. I think Winnipeg beats us. Alright, let's go. I think about one of the few, I think we're number 3 in the country. I don't remember. Alright. You ready for another shocker? Yeah. Get this. This slab right here that could be a bikeway but isn't. It's alright. It just needs some paint. Look at this. You cross this street and that same type of slab of pavement is a bike lane. How's that? What a shocker, eh? Look at that, bikes this lane. Okay. Well, I swear I've seen something like this before. I swear. I can't put my finger on it. Where did I see a giant slab of pavement, signs in it and everything, beside a sidewalk, but just doing nothing? I wish I could remember. Oh, there it is. Most of this route. Okay. Most of this area that isn't already a bike lane is like this. Oh, the surprise with this lane doesn't end here. This ain't the last one, I'll tell you that much. Oh, that hill's a beast. I said I had a seizure last night, this morning at some point. Whew. I wonder why the bike everywhere. Okay. So, construction zone begins. We're back to where they're finally, after 3 years of building that short bike lane, are expanding it. Look at this sign. They put it just at a height for someone to run right into. The lower sign is at my elbow height going by it. It's not safe at all. And the bike lane just ends. I suppose this part isn't wide enough. It's plenty wide for a bike, if you ask me. Alright, so this little bit's under construction still. Like I said, it's taken 3 years to add to what they finished. since they approved the project and built the first bit. Crazy. Crazy when you think about it. They could have done the whole road by that point. Any normal city would have. I suppose it is what it is. Sidewalks closed, so they're putting people through the parking lot. No biggie. Yeah, digging up more. It's not bad if you ask me. They've been doing about 2 weeks of work. I've done 3 blocks, give or take. Like they're pouring the concrete for the sidewalk. That's cool. We just started this block, what, 4 days ago, I think. And I've already gotten to the point of pouring concrete for a new sidewalk. Right on. I guess then the asphalt for the bike lane will be next, if they haven't already. I don't see it down. Yeah, no, it's not down yet. Ready for traffic to cross. This sidewalk's still closed on this block. So. Closed here. Just cut through. Here's where it's done. This is a part of the new part. I guess not too bad. They've torn this all up from the Burger King back to here in about 2.5 weeks. They paved it, redid the sidewalk, pushed it back. The sidewalk was closer. I guess they had to widen it because of the light posts. Still a nice fresh bike lane. Feels good. Oh, the bumps aren't so hard there. Perfect. Shit. Knocked over sign in the middle of it though. Now back on the part that was built three years ago, 2020, when a project was first approved. And it took a couple weeks to build both sides, so I don't remember exactly. It's 3 years ago. I don't have the best memory in the world. So many brain injuries. In any case, I get a lot of people though, despite all the signs and all the paint. A lot of car drivers will still turn in front of you or block off a crossing. It's common in Sudbury. If there's one thing that's common in this town, it's cars blocking crosswalks. They don't care. Red light, oh well, that's permission to block a crosswalk for people who need to walk in front of you. You know what I mean? As you saw in part 1, some jerk did that to me, gave him a piece of my mind. this is certainly a whole lot safer than biking on the road for anybody. Look at that truck. Just how much room is there for a bike in that lane with that truck? And don't just look at the body. Look at the wing mirrors. Stick out another foot from each side. You know, so a whole lot safer. Have you noticed one thing missing from each intersection along this bike path so far? Yeah, there's no crossing to the cross streets. Like at the lights, the one we just went through has a bike lane. If you want to call a paved bike gutter a bike lane, but there's nowhere to cross except for the pedestrian crossing. Unless you want to cut through the road, and believe me, that corner, no. So many cars make a left turn coming down that hill, just flying. I won't even cross the street on my feet, or I hate it. This Pioneer Manor retirement home. Would you believe this retirement home here? It's run by the city. That's not the unbelievable part, but the city doesn't plow the sidewalks, nor did they do the bike lane this last winter. I see seniors coming out of there all the time in their scooters, even some on e-bikes. They can't get around to the Tim Hortons across the street. Sad, really. Really, really sad. There's no crosswalk here. I used to work in this building at CRA. I bike to work. I need to cross the street to get to the correct travel direction to get home. There's no bike crossing, so it's funny. Driver's handbook and all that tell you bikes can't use pedestrian crossings, but when the city doesn't put in a bike crossing, what are you supposed to do? They don't even join the bike lanes that are already there. Oh, almost done, folks. I hope you recognize this area. Getting sweaty. Backpack on here. This is new. Crossing with a speed hump to make sure the cars stop. It's new for Sudbury, that's for sure. Now look at this. You get a bike crossing on that side with the big button on this side. Couldn't make it any more awkward. The other side's worse. So much further than the bike crossing. At least that one you got to go by it to get to the bike crossing. But the other one, forget it. You need to go out of your way to press it. That's something the city should fix. Install a second button or something. Something for us bikers. You put the bike lane there. It's just another example of the patchwork we get if this this whole ride hasn't been an example of patchwork. I don't know what is. I wonder if LaSalle's ever going to get a bike lane. That'd be nice. I should have. Oh, should have just bought some music. Oh, here's some. There we go. Okay. So there's a bike crossing here. Avoids the island. Cuts across the merge lane. This I'm not entirely sure. It's been put a sign. Put up a sign that said bike lane here, but so it's hard to say if it's finished or they just put up the sign. Just about back where we started from. Back and forth. If you didn't notice, I switched bikes. My GoPro quit on me. Almost finished, so I went home, charged it, grabbed a new bike, and well, the trip in total was 14 kilometers. So 14 kilometers across the city and back. Goes to show the city's not all that big. These excuses of too much is just not gonna fit it. So this is the end of the proposed bike lane. Again, further down they're making a side lane for bikes on the side of the highway. So whatever. But they should really put a walk symbol here, something where, you know, a pedestrian presses a button and a stoplight comes up. Something like they have on Regent where you cross the Junction Creek. You just press a button, the light changes, otherwise it's green. If no one's here, the light doesn't change. It doesn't affect traffic. So city of Greater Sudbury, if you see this, take that into consideration, please. I bike in and out of here a lot and cross this highway. I'd like to be able to do it with my daughter someday. She's 7 years old. I don't trust the traffic to get across. Oh boy, still can't get across.